In a San Diego courtroom, two men were on trial for robbery, and the prosecuting attorney was examining the witness. He asked, "Were you present at the scene of the robbery?" The witness said yes. He said, Did you observe the two robbers?" Again, yes. And then finally, "Are those two men present in the courtroom today?" But before the witness could say anything, the two robbers raised their hands. I think of the line from one of my favorite films, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" George Clooney's character Everett said, "You two are dumber than a bag of hammers." Or I think of Forrest Gump, who said, "Stupid is as stupid does." Well, Forrest also said, "Life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." But he could have added, if you eat a box of chocolates every day, you're going to gain a lot of weight. Welcome to Life 101. There's lots of knowledge, lots of information on our world. But what you and I so very much need, and what the world very much needs, is life knowledge, wisdom. Wisdom for life. The problem is, as a wise person said, by the time most people are wise enough to watch their step, they're too old to go anywhere. James 1:5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives to all generously without finding fault, and it will be given to you." God has already given the world a precious package of wisdom in the biblical book of Proverbs. So if I could give the world homework, I would assign everyone, every person, to read seriously and to examine closely this book of Proverbs. It begins like this: "The Proverbs of Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, for gaining wisdom and instruction, for understanding words of insight." Our Sunday morning Bible class online recently has been making a study of the book of Proverbs, and it is tremendous. Very, very worthwhile. I'm enjoying that so much. And really, the book is a series of illustrations of truth compressed into short sayings. It's kind of like if I were to ask you the choice between listening to a 30-minute sermon or a 2-second soundbite. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? That's what Proverbs are, that 2-second soundbite of wisdom. Someone has said they're like Hebrew bumper stickers or Hebrew memes. Now, it's not a book of promises. Instead, it's a book of principles. It's not a book of legal guarantees, saying that, if you do A and B, then you should expect C. It's guidelines, it's guardrails for living real life in the real world. And you have to be careful. You have to do some work to interpret. That's why reading the Proverbs together with someone else, it would be a wise thing to do. You have to look at the situation. You have to maybe think more about applying the principle than solving the problem. Proverbs is life in the practical. I heard of a farmer who was teaching his son how to plow, and he took him out in the field, and he said, the thing to do is to fix your eyes on a point and head in that direction, and do that repeatedly, and then you'll have a field full of straight rows. And so he walked away, and then he came back to check the son's progress, and every one of the son's rows looked like a question mark. And so the father was exasperated. He accused the boy of not following his instructions, but the son said, "I did follow your instructions." He says, "I fixed my eyes on a cow, and I followed her around." Well, fixing our eyes on standards that change, on morals that move, will lead our lives, will lead our society to look like question marks, big question marks. There are lots of people in our world today that base their lives on things that change and move quickly. Maybe it's feelings. And feelings are wonderful gifts from God, but they're terrible sources of wisdom because they change so constantly, moment by moment. Some base their lives on slogans from cultural influencers, entertainers, musicians, political pundits, and those things are changing constantly. And so no wonder so many lives end up looking like big question marks. Wisdom is being able to see life from God's perspective and then live it out in the real world. So here's my challenge. Why not read the book of Proverbs? Did you know there are 31 chapters in that book? And there are 31 days in the month of July. How about reading a chapter a day, or read just several verses every day? Make a study of wisdom. Maybe even memorize several of those precious nuggets of wisdom from God's gold mine of wisdom. It's about thinking, but it's much more than that. As you read seriously and reflectively the Proverbs, you'll soon discover that they point to a person. After all, wisdom is a person. Jesus himself said, "I am the way and the truth and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me." So how about it? Are you up to the 31-day Proverbs challenge? I'm convinced it is the wise thing to do. Psalm 119, 105 says, "Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path." The song is based on that simple verse, Thy word.
Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. When I feel afraid and think I've lost my way, still you're here right beside me. Nothing will I fear as long as you are near. Please be near me to the end. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. I will not forget your love for me